Well, Cooperative Governance Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma is set to challenge President Cyril Ramaphosa for the ANC leadership for the second time. Dlamini-Zuma lost narrowly to Ramaphosa in Nasrec in 2017 for the ANC's top post. Over the next few months, the party will work to nominate leaders who will lead the ANC during the 2024 elections. To speak more on this, we're joined by Kgothatso Madisa, a political journalist at the Sunday Times, who penned an article together with his colleague Zimasa Matiwane titled NDZ Takes on Cyril. Decision to throw name in hat could be game changer in race for presidency. Kgothatso, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. So yourself and your colleagues have done some verifications, and you did reach out to Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma's camp to confirm whether indeed she will be running for the top job.
Hi, Dudu. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, the minister's spokesperson has confirmed that the minister's name has been raised. She has been asked rather to contest for the top post, and she has agreed. It's a normal way that people answer questions when it comes to questions around leadership race. So he's saying to us that the minister's name has been nominated. She has been asked by some branches, and she has agreed to avail herself. So we will see a contest. So far, it had not been clear whether the President Cyril Ramaphosa will be contested, but after this weekend, we can confirm that he will be contested.
Sure. So she's been asked by some branches to run for office, but we understand that she's also enjoying the backing of some other political figures who are quite prominent in the ANC. One former President Jacob Zuma, as well as the former mayor of eThekwini, Zandile Gumede. You did reach out to their camps as well, but they've since been mum on the situation?
Yes, so we understand why they are being mum. KZN has not pronounced itself as the provincial executive committee. So saying anything around who they support and whatnot before the structure pronounces itself would be seemingly jumping the gun. So they're playing it safe, but we do believe, we have been told that the likes of Zandile Gumede are some of the people who will have lobbied her to avail herself. Obviously, we would expect that the former President Jacob Zuma is also behind her. But she does enjoy some support. We don't know if it's still the same as it was going into the Nasrec conference, but she does have support. Look, it was always expected that KZN will want to put forward a candidate from its own province. If you remember, in 2017, they became the biggest losers because there were so many people that came from that province that were contesting for the top position. They ended up not even having a single person in the top 6. Obviously, they'll want to rectify this. It's going to play itself out because the likes of Zweli Mkhize, for instance, has also raised his hand for the president's position. We don't know whether those negotiations that are currently ongoing will see him pulling back and allowing Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma to contest the President Cyril Ramaphosa, or if he's just going to go for the kill and say, I'm contesting regardless. So it's going to play itself out in the next few weeks. Once the nomination process is fully open, we will see which branches nominate. We don't know whether the other provinces that will support them. As we've seen, Limpopo, for instance, has rallied behind Cyril Ramaphosa, Mpumalanga as well, Northwest. We believe Gauteng will also do the same. Western Cape will also rally behind Ramaphosa, as well as Northern Cape as well. So Northern Cape and Eastern Cape. So we're not sure where her support base besides KZN will come from, but we believe they will have pockets of supports in all of these provinces.
I'd like for us to expand on that dynamic, especially including Zweli Mkhize. Her candidature could possibly complicate things because we understand that he has at least 7 of the 11 regions' support in KwaZulu-Natal.
Absolutely. If you look at how all the regional conferences went, people who emerged are Zweli Mkhize's allies in most of those regions. Even people who emerged in the provincial conference, most of them are his allies. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting because if you ask him to pull back from contesting when he enjoys so much support, you'll have to convince him that he'll also be not noticed or get something in return, because these are his allies. Will he be able to convince those allies in all of these regions to rally behind Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma? So look, there's going to be a lot of back and forth negotiations ahead of the conference. If you saw what happened at the conference, the Nasrec conference, it was at the 11th hour that things started taking shape. That eventually saw the former chairperson of Mpumalanga, currently the deputy president, David Mabuza, marshalling people to support Cyril Ramaphosa right at the 11th hour. So anything could happen, but as it stands, Mkhize does enjoy a lot of support from KZN.
Sure. Kgothatso, another highly contested position will be that of the Secretary General of the ANC. You've also penned another article in the Sunday Times titled "Ramaphosa Comes to Mashadile's Rescue," as some people, including Mameloko Kubai, question why he's holding 3 quite influential positions within the party.
Absolutely. It came out in the NEC meeting that took place on Friday. Yes. Look, it's not the first time they've raised the issue has been raised. Just that this time it became a very hot topic. But the president came to Mashadile's defense, saying, the boat should not be rattled so soon, so close to the conference. Mashadile has been running the Secretary General's office, in the absence of the suspended Secretary General Ace Magashule, and after the death of, even before the death of J.C. Duarte. So he has been running that conference, and there was an attempt to say in the NEC meeting that is it legal for Mashadile to hold 3 positions, but also is there provision for him as a Treasurer General to hold the Secretary General, to act as the Secretary General. But the President said the NEC, or the top 6 officials, now the top 4, have agreed that Mashadile should continue in his role, because it's going to raise a lot of questions. If you're saying it's unlawful for Mashadile to have held that position, you will then have to ask yourself what happens to all the regional conferences, the provincial conferences that happened, under his watch. He convened and gave a go-ahead to most of these regional branch meetings and provincial conferences. So you'll then have to question whether, if you say him holding this position is illegal or unlawful or unconstitutional, what happens to those conferences that have taken place under his watch? Do you rerun them? Do they stand? What do you use as a legal precedent to say, they can go ahead? They're not null and void, even though him holding that position is illegal. So it was a matter of, having to make all those considerations that the top 6 and top 4 then agreed that, look, he can continue, he should continue in that position. However, when it comes to the national conference in December, perhaps the Deputy President, David Mabuza, should present one of the 2 reports, because Mashadile would, as it stands, he would have to present the Treasurer's General report, the financial report, as well as the organizational report. So there was also that issue. But maybe just before you come in again, obviously, the people who raised this issue in the meeting this weekend, is on Friday at the NEC meeting, are people who are contesting Mashatile for the position of deputy president. Two of them, two of many rather. I mean, you have Mamulu Kukubai, you have Ronald Lamola, who are contesting Mashatile, raising this matter in the NEC meeting. But they're not the only people who have raised their hand. We have Oscar Mabuyani, for instance, in the Eastern Cape, who is also expected to raise his hand. So yes, that did happen in the NEC meeting over the weekend.
Kgothatso, thank you very much for availing yourself, Madisa. He's a Sunday Times journalist, and you can pick up your latest copy of the Sunday Times to read his work as well as his colleagues' work, Zamasa Matiwane. Let's remind your stories.